Hey everyone, welcome. Today we've got a seriously fascinating explainer that is going to completely redefine how we think about online education. We're unpacking an insightful academic analysis by Ronaldo Pereira Souza from Unicamp, and the core argument here is super compelling. Distance education is no longer just this mass-produced backup plan. It's actually evolving into a deeply socially embedded reality. Today, we're going to break down the sociological concepts driving this massive shift.
Okay, let's dive right into this. For decades, online learning was kind of seen as this spare tire, right? It was that clunky backup you only use when the physical classroom wasn't an option. But philosopher Pierre Levy completely flips that script. He suggests it's actually the spearhead of a new society. It's literally leading the charge into a highly personalized, fluid future. To see exactly how a spare tire becomes a spearhead, here's our roadmap for today. We'll briefly cover the distance education dilemma, flows versus physical places, managing transactional distance, Univest's collaborative networks, and finally, achieving real virtuality. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the distance education dilemma, specifically the rapid expansion and the isolation trap. So, distance education, it's historically had a bit of a reputation problem, hasn't it? It's frequently stigmatized as this dehumanizing, mass-produced commodity. It's basically the industrial factory model just copy-pasted onto the internet. And while distance education absolutely democratizes access, allowing anyone with Wi-Fi to log in, it often falls into the trap of becoming an impersonal digital diploma mill, right? Processing students at scale rather than actually nurturing their minds. Now, what's really interesting about this is the harsh clash going on here. Yes, it pulverizes access to higher education globally. That's incredible. But on the flip side, if it's run purely as a commercial market, it risks creating severe algorithmic exclusion. The biggest flaw in the old model is that it completely ignores the student's local geographic and cultural reality. You might be logging in from a rich, vibrant rural community, but the platform treats you exactly the same as someone in a massive metropolis. It creates this deep human isolation, despite having vast technological access. Which brings us to Section 2, flows versus physical places, diving into Manuel Castells and the Network Society. Castells argues that we live in a network society. Basically, the power dynamics of our modern world are dictated by flows of information that simply do not care about physical borders. I want you to picture your own laptop screen for a second. When you log in, you are connecting to a vast, invisible, and frankly, sometimes overwhelming global network. That network operates at the speed of light, and it is entirely divorced from the physical desk you're currently sitting at. Castells breaks this down into an incredible visual clash. In the space of flows, your digital platform is global, instant, and highly abstract. But then, in the space of places, you have your local, physical environment, your home, your community, your concrete reality. The friction happens when a student's rich, physical culture is forced to fight against a cold, abstract digital platform. If the platform ignores the place, the student feels totally disconnected. Moving right along to Section 3, managing transactional distance, or how we actually bridge this human gap. So the absolutely crucial point here is transactional distance. It's a pedagogical and psychological gap. Because distance in education isn't just about physical miles. I mean, you could be taking an online class from a university literally down the street. But if the system is rigid and automated, the transactional distance is massive. You feel a profound sense of disconnection. Managing this specific gap is the real secret to successful online learning. To manage that distance, we have to map out the digital ecosystem. The institution and its platforms act as hubs. But the real magic? That happens at the nodes, the students, the tutors, and the local support centers. The tech infrastructure, the fiber optics, the internet, that's all just the plumbing. True education relies on empowering those nodes. Treating students as active nodes, rather than just passive consumers, acts as a powerful form of social resistance against isolation. To overcome the gap, we literally have to validate the student's local reality. We have to transform these digital networks from simple data repositories into actual spaces of human formation. When a student brings their local community problems into the digital forum, they force that rigid digital system to adapt to them, making the learning deeply personal again. Let's look at this in the real world with Section 4, Univest's collaborative networks, the solution in practice. Universp is a genuinely fascinating example because it was built explicitly to solve this dilemma. It deliberately positions itself as a territory of formation and citizenship. They refuse to treat knowledge as just some static product to be bought and sold. Instead, they use technology to tightly integrate high academic rigor with local social well-being, proving that an online university can, for sure, serve the public good. Let's move to how this builds in practice. This philosophy is baked right into their curriculum through the Progetto Integrador, or PI approach. Step 1, completely escape the isolated student model. Step 2, take that abstract academic theory, that space of flows, and force it to articulate with practical local community contexts, the space of places. By doing this, the student is naturally empowered as a co-author and the architect of their own educational journey. They aren't just memorizing facts, they are actively innovating for their own towns. And this lines up perfectly with another brilliant thought from Manuel Castells. Technology isn't just a glowing screen or a piece of hardware. It is a tangible tool for reproducible inclusion. When used correctly by institutions like Univest, technology is simply the method we use to reproduce social transformation at scale, making absolutely sure no student is left behind. And that leads us to our final and most profound conceptual shift, Section 5, Achieving Real Virtuality, the New Reality of Cyberculture.
Real virtuality. I know, it sounds like a paradox straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But let's demystify it. It is a stage where the digital environment is no longer just a fake simulation of a physical classroom. It becomes the actual, authentic ecosystem. Think about it. The very real anxiety you feel over a digital deadline or the joy and passion of a live debate in an online forum, those aren't fake emotions. Those are 100% authentic human experiences happening entirely within a digital space. The virtual is real.
Embracing real virtuality marks a massive historical shift away from the traditional factory model, schooling based on physical confinement, surveillance, and a rigid one-size-fits-all curriculum. Instead, we are entering a fluid network. This is all about cooperative digital ecosystems, empowering the student to control data flows and highly personalized learning. The physical walls of the classroom are gone, replaced by a boundless cooperative network.
Ultimately, these are the hallmarks of authentic digital education. It completely blurs the line between the physical and the digital. It validates informal learning and community contexts. It cultivates collective intelligence among peers. And most importantly, it transforms students from passive consumers of content into active prosumers, producers and consumers simultaneously. This paradigm shift is absolutely vital because it ensures that as our society becomes more digitized, it also becomes more human, more connected, and more empowering.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate challenge for all of us navigating this network society. Are you just consuming information in the network, or are you actually building your own reality? Every time you log on, you have a choice to be a passive node or an active architect of your digital environment. I hope this explainer gave you a powerful new framework for thinking about learning and connectivity. Keep building your reality, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.